how are you bracing for any kind of volatility that may arise in the UK market, in the UK currency gilts market because of the election outcome?
I think, the Labour victory is being pretty much factored into market pricing now. So we don't expect the sterling to rally significantly at the back of this in the short term. Longer term, yes, if Labour does come through, we know that they have been talking about potentially engaging with the European Union, fostering a better relationship, reducing trade barriers. All of that to us, again, longer term, sure, may play out sterling positive. But near term, I think if that plays through and Labour Party wins, I think, you're not going to see much. We've already seen the rally in the sterling already. Of course, if we do get surprises, let's say a conservative win, which is not, the polls are not telling us that clearly, then, you're going to be a little bit more neutral on the sterling, BAU. And I think the least likely outcome, obviously, is a hung parliament. This is not new for the UK, has happened before. Or if the Reform UK party comes in, I think that's going to be a little bit of a gridlock and more difficulty. I guess the fiscal plan and fiscal strategy is most important for the UK, and they have to be careful about that.
Indeed. And so what range would you ascribe to the pound sterling over the course of, let's say, the first 6 months when the Labour Party, if the Labour Party comes to power?
Look, I think there are a couple of things. We are looking at 130 for year end for the sterling dollar. And obviously, that's on the back of a couple of other things. I think it's not just the political side of things, it's also what the BOE is going to do. And we think the BOE is only just now starting to get dovish. And we think that's only going to get, they're going to increase the dovishness going forward. So it kind of points me to the view that, yes, we see upside for the sterling, but it is going to be limited on the back of a dovish BOE. But also we see a weaker USD ahead, which we can talk about as well. That would support sterling, a little bit of that sterling upside that we're expecting.
Mahjabeen, Chidu's also having a question for you. He'll just come in with that. Chidu?
Hi, Mahjabeen. Moving to the other election in the region as well, do you think the French elections and the impact of that could have cross-border implications on the sterling, and where would that see the euro sterling be at?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the political risk premium, the fiscal risk premium, I feel like it's a little bit higher in Europe, in France, vis-a-vis sterling or the UK. And so I think, I think that's something we need to note. And I think euro sterling might see near-term softness. But then again, that's for now. In the short term, we think there's going to be upside going forward because you take out that political risk premium from both the currencies, and then you look at the rate differentials or what ECB is planning and what BOE is planning. And then when we look at those differentials, we know very much that the ECB rate cuts are already factored in. We're looking at two, all close to being cemented for the rest of the year. But the BOE story is not very clear. Sure, they're going to start in August with their first cut. But then, I think there is more room for them to get more dovish, which would then point to, year end, we look at upside in the euro sterling.